All right, let's jump in on a little bit more trig right here. You need to turn over to page 2. And if you'll notice on these, we do know 2 of the side links, unlike the other problems. Um, and we're going to solve for the missing angle. By the way, that's the letter theta. Don't panic about it. Upper level math classes start using some different Greek letters. So theta usually represents a missing angle. So we're going to find it. The process is the same. All right. So I'm still going to do the tangent of the angle. All right. Usually right here, we were writing 32 degrees or whatever, but now I'm just going to put theta. That's what I'm looking for. All right. And it still equals the opposite over the adjacent. So from this angle's point of view, the opposite is 4 and the adjacent is 13. Now, what's going on here is what we're asking is what angle has to fit if the opposite is 4 and the adjacent is 13. Now, the 4 compared to 13 is a ratio, and it's a decimal just like this. It's 0.307. So what we could do, if you want to think about it going in reverse, is we go over here to this chart and we start looking up and down all the ratios right here until we find one that's 0.307 or really, really close to it, which I would say right here, we're really, really close to 0.307. That's just a couple of hundredths or thousandths off. So I'm going to say it's about 17 degrees, maybe 17.1. Okay. And then I know what some of you are thinking. We're like, okay, so now we're back to using this chart. Well, no, technically we're not. Okay. So what I need to teach you to do is how to ask your calculator to look the chart up backwards. That's really essentially what you're going to do to these. All right. And what you're going to do is you are going to undo things in your calculator, just like when you do a squared button. To undo that, you hit the second button, and you hit the exact same button. And that's how you do the square root of numbers. And it undoes the operation second squared. So the same thing applies here on your calculator for tangent. To undo tangent or to look it up backwards, you are going to type in second tangent. And a tangent with a little -1 comes up. And what your calculator is waiting on is the ratio. So you tell it the ratio. It's 4 on the opposite divided by 13 on the adjacent. So as soon as I hit enter, it's going to tell me the angle. See, we said about 17. This is the actual official angle right here, 17.1. All right. So I'm going to say that theta is 17.1 degrees. Okay. Done. End of story. All right. Let's do another. Tangent of theta equals the opposite is 11.9 over the adjacent, which is 10. So you just go to your calculator, inverse tangent, 11.9 divided by 10, and you get 49.96. We could say 50.0 degrees if we were rounding. Oops, 50.0 degrees. All right, lots of little zeros. Okay. So again, I'm wanting you to show your work on these, just like we were doing on the other page. You show me this, then you can do that in your calculator. The good news about these kind is you don't even have to think about doing any algebra. You don't have to think about cross multiplying, solving for x. This is all done in the calculator. These are actually easier. Okay, we did the more difficult ones first. All right. Another way to show your work is you could just show me exactly what you're going to put in your calculator. So some people will do this for their work. 7.7 over 14. So if you just want to show me that, just show me what you're doing in your calculator. Okay, inverse tangent, 7.7 divided by 14, 28.8. Right? One thing I should have said about your calculator, if you're not getting these answers and you're wondering what's going on, your calculator is probably in the wrong mode. So if you'll hit this mode button right here and go over down there, the third line down should be highlighted in degrees. So always check that. It could revert back to radians. As a matter of fact, that's the default setting. So if it gets cleared or reset, it goes back to that. So you will get all of your answers wrong if you are not in degree mode. Okay, so just double check that each time you pick up a calculator. All right, that is the inverse tangent. Okay, and then I think we've answered these other questions. This opposite to adjacent ratio is called the tangent ratio. Um, so we're not going to use a table. We are going to use a calculator. That's how we're all going to be accurate and be on the same page. All right, very good.